everyone, today we're going to be talking about chess, a war between black and white trying to take over this ginormous board. Well, maybe it's not so ginormous, but let's just get right into it. So, the board has an 8x8 checkerboard pattern. You might have seen this exact board in checkers. They both have the same board, but they are totally different games. So, we're also going to look at the pieces. The first piece we're going to look at is a pawn. And it's the weakest piece in the game, at least in my opinion. There are 8 pawns in the game, and 2 of these pieces that look like castles, they're called rooks. You keep them in the sides once you put the pawns in the second rank. The horses, they go right next to those rooks. Then you see these funny looking pieces. These pieces are called bishops. They have this line over them. Then, for the king and queen, it's kind of obvious because there's a simple algorithm. The queen goes on a white square because it's a white queen. The king goes on a black square because it's a white king. So the king would go on the opposite of its own color, and the queen would go on the same color. Remember this. So it's the same thing for black. I got that wrong. There's no difference. Same setup. And for each side, if you count, there's a total of 16 pieces. So in all, there's supposed to be 32 pieces in chess. Sometimes there's additional 2 or maybe even more. But we're going to look over that later and why those extra 2 pieces are used for. So this is the chessboard. Sometimes, this is not in every board. In some boards, it's not there. But sometimes there are these numbers on the side. These are called ranks. So that means this row or the rank is called by the number. So this is 5, so that's the rank. This is rank 6 and rank 7. It says right there, I don't think so you could see it in the monitor, but it's in that rank. Also, once you look down, there's A, B, C, D, E, F, G to H. So these refer to the columns. For notation, which we won't see too much, is that B, if you see B and then there's 5, and I do B5, which is not possible in this situation, we'll look over that in the next video. That means I'm referring to there's a pawn moving to D5. B5. I got that wrong again. And if this pawn was going here, which is possible, we'll look over the moves. That is, if you look here, C and then 4. So this is C4. For the knight, it's a similar setup. So let's just say the knight goes here, it's E3. If the bishop was here and then it went here, again, we'll show you what the moves are in the next video, that would be B5. But remember this, it's the same thing for every piece, but there's a difference. For the pawn, once it moves there, you don't need to put anything next to it. For a rook, you need to put an R, and then you need to put where it goes to. For a horse, it's N. And then you show it, you put the square where it went to. So it's NC3 is what this is. This is the bishop. And for the bishop, you would put B and then the square it goes to, which is in this situation C5. Queen, same thing, but it's Q. And for king, you might have guessed it, it's K. And for checkmate, which we're going to go over later, which is how you win the game, you would see a hashtag. For a brilliant move, at least that's what the opponent thinks, they would put an exclamation mark. And if the opponent is confused and doesn't understand why the opponent did the move, then you would put a question mark. In the end, not in the beginning, you put them in the end. So if it's game over, you put, let's just say, the opponent did this move, and it was game over. In this situation, it would not be game over. Don't get confused by this. This is C5. So you would put N C5 and then a hashtag. That would mean that it's game over. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we're actually going to start by learning moves and how to take other pieces. Bye everyone!